you guys? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. So you guys, Amber Portwood has been spiraling again over on TikTok, and she was actually banned. I had the pleasure of watching the live stream. I was actually on the live um, as she committed the acts of why she was banned. Now, of course, Amber Portwood, she is denying that she did anything wrong, but she did. She was banned due to sex-related content. I don't know how long she's going to be banned for. It could be like, a 7-day ban, whatever. She doesn't know. I guess she couldn't. I don't know if they email you to let you know, like, hey, you've been banned for 7 days. But she did get some sort of notification letting her know that she was banned and what she was banned for. So she may come back. So, don't be like, Elle Bee said she was banned and then she come back and be like, Elle Bee lied. I'm not saying she's banned indefinitely. She may be back, but she was banned. It was yesterday morning, you guys. So much was going on yesterday morning. This live stream will be a little bit of a long one because we do have to watch. We're going to watch the live and I'm going to commentate on it. And I have about 3 hours worth of Amber Portwood footage. And then I have about 3 hours of Caitlin, who was on with an adoptee, a bio mom, and a birth mom. And I also wanted to go over that at some point with you guys. Like, I want to weed out a lot of the conversation and just like find where Caitlin was mainly speaking and where she was talking about the adoption and things that we didn't know about. So I want to do that live. It'll probably have to be tomorrow. But yesterday morning, I was recording on my phone. I was recording on my computer at the same time. I'm recording Caitlin live, Amber live. Meanwhile, trying to get other work done as well. And it was just so chaotic. And all day yesterday, I was editing all of these live streams while still trying to watch some of them. So it was a lot going on yesterday, but I've got most of it edited and I do have this 20-minute video up already. So if you want to just watch the video and you don't want to hang out with me and listen to me commentate on it, be my guest, go right ahead. It is up under videos on my page. But if you want to hang out and watch it together and we can share our thoughts, that's what we're going to do in this video. So let's go ahead, let's get into it. And like I said, this is Amber Portwood's live right here. She was on with a guy named Mr. Hoods, and everybody thinks that this is Gary 2.0. It's not. This is just some random streamer that Amber came across when she started following TikTok creators. Months ago, Amber started going live herself, but before that, she was already on TikTok watching other creators. And she's like a top gifter for the people that she watches, which in turn causes her to become kind of close to these people. Because even as a creator myself, like sometimes you just notice people, like if their name's constantly popping up because, they're gifting, or, you notice your members because their name is it's a different color. So Amber Portwood would watch live streams and she would be a top gifter. So the people that she was gifting and those streamers notice her, and all of them have kind of latched on to Amber. Not gonna lie, Mr. Hood seems like a nice guy, but I do think he's probably taken advantage of Amber because there has been times that Amber definitely needed to get off live and he would pull her back on. Even during this instance, like she was banned, she needed to she was already hyped up, going off, saying things she's probably going to regret or saying things that she should regret, even if she doesn't. And he called her and got her back on the phone and put her on the screen so she could continue talking about Leah and Gary and the show and everything. So while this guy seems like he also doesn't know the show, Mr. Hoods says he's never watched the show, and right now they're doing like a road to Leah where they go live like so many days out of the week where Amber can just talk about how much she misses Leah. I don't even know. I watched some of because I have so much footage of this, like 3 hours. I was watching some of it earlier, and he was talking about how they literally are on this journey of they're going to do 3 lives a week. And the purpose is so Leah can see that her mom loves her, that the lives will be Amber, like, talking about how much she loves Leah. I don't even know. It's so weird. This guy literally admits he's never seen the show. And when people's in his comment section, like going off on Amber, he's blocking them, even if they're nice, even if they're like, you have no idea about her. He's having them blocked. And it seems like this guy really is a nice guy. But he's latched on to Amber for sure because it definitely gets him more views. She gives him when she's on his live. Like, I've been watching him live, and she gifted him, and I'm like, I don't even know how much that's worth, but it's probably worth a lot. And Amber herself, I have her recorded saying this, that she is a huge gifter, that if she comes in your stream and she gifts you, you're going to win your battle. So she gifts a lot to the people that she watches. This is not a boyfriend. He's married. This man is married. This is just a streamer that she came across that she really liked, and they become really good friends. And this guy has like kind of latched onto her. So we're going to watch the live stream where she went off on the network saying that she was going to get the show canceled, and that's what people get for messing with her. And then she ends up getting banned. So trigger warning, because I do think I tried to edit out a lot of the cuss words, but some may have slipped by me. So let's go ahead and let's watch, you guys. Oh, y'all let me know if y'all can hear as well. One of the mods or somebody in the chat, once I start playing it, just say like audio is good or something. All right, let's listen.
Wait, what did I say? MTV? I think the show's getting canceled, you guys.
Wait a minute. Let me slow it down. So you guys know how every time we go live and I play a video for y'all and it's on like super fast speed? That's because when I'm having to watch it back, I'm always on like a rush with everything. So I watch it on like fast speed. All right, let's listen.
Wait, what did I say? MTV? I think the show's getting canceled, you guys. God works in mysterious ways, y'all. Proud to find out. Oh, I wish I could say more.
Thank you.
Is that in my contract? Nope. You shouldn't have.
First off, Amber, like, I got something to say. I wish I could say more. If the show's going to be canceled, then who cares? If you're having the show canceled, who cares what's in your contract? If you don't care, then say it. Like, why do you care?
With me.
So they're gonna cancel the show.
If it isn't canceled, I'll get it canceled.
And then you can just put the ball will be in your court.
It's already in my court, honey.
Yes.
He said, and then the ball will be in your court. And she said, it's already in my court, honey.
I swear, I mean, here's the thing, this is what it is. Like, I started this, and all these girls now are starting to like form into this ball of hatefulness and just like, hey, look, if y'all want the show, take the fun show, take the reins. I'm not delusional. This is real shit. They can take the reins. They can take that show. No, Maci did not start it. No, Maci did not start it.
It's so wild because, okay, the concept was already there. Literally, the executives from MTV already knew they wanted to have a show about teen pregnancy. They were looking around. They asked Amber's brother, Sean. He was engaged. So Sean, his fiance signed them up to do MTV's Underage and Engaged, but he didn't want to do it because he's not like real big into the limelight or whatever. So his fiance signed them up to do it. They were selected, but then he was like, I don't want to do that. So they asked the girlfriend, well, we're also doing a documentary on underage, on teen pregnancy. Do you know anybody that's pregnant and that's a teen? And she was like, actually, my my fiance's little sister is. And while they were originally going for 16, they did end up going with Amber. They contacted Amber and had her send in a video. She sent in a video, and they could tell from jump that she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and that she would make a good, cast member to film for the documentary. So was she the first that was selected? Sure. Is it her show? No, she didn't come up with the concept. She's not an executive producer or anything. Like, just because you were filmed first, and her episodes did not even air first. Like, there's so many things that play into if something is a success. It's wild. Me being a content creator now, like, and watching YouTube channels and the shows that we watch, I think about these things because I wonder, Maci's episode was aired first, I think it was. And then I think it was Farrah. But I'm like, I wonder if it was done in a different order, if it would have been as popular. Like, if they would have started with, one of the other girls that their story wasn't as popular, if it would have caught on as fast, right? Maci's was a very interesting, Cate and Tyler had the adoption. Farrah had her, her boyfriend didn't know and she wasn't telling him, and her parents were keeping them separated. So it does make me wonder, like, if her episode would have aired first, would it have been as popular? We don't know, but still, Amber is definitely not your show. It's wild that she says that. She seems a bit narcissistic. Exactly.
Y'all, I think that's a known fact. But anyways, what I'm saying is that it's not a bad thing, guys. It's time for it to be done. But if you keep grasping at straws for shit, eventually it's gonna go. They should just leave me alone and shut the fuck up.
It's like a high school clique.
Pretty much. And then to me, if I hear anything coming towards me, like I haven't though.
Nah.
She doesn't even make any sense, to be honest. And I don't want to seem like I'm picking on her, but she just doesn't make sense. And I don't know if this is like her, like in a manic state, because she's like, if I see anything coming towards me, I haven't though. But you have, because you know that Jade and Cheyenne mentioned you on the show. So weird.
I mean, no matter what, like it's all about today and tomorrow, and like what we build for.
You just have to smile and be positive. Like you can't always like keep grasping at negativity and shit that's happened already.
And kill them with kindness. Do.
Yes, exactly. So, hey, good luck to everybody. I'm not negative.
She has said several times, like, good luck to everybody. At one point, she was like, this was like a couple of weeks back. She was like, I hope the cast members like enjoy living in shacks or something like that. She literally implied that without the show, like that all the cast members would end up like broke, which, maybe so. I don't know. But like, you don't, like, that's not in your control though. Like, what are you going to, you're going to end up living in a shack too, Amber. Cause like, what do you do?
I'm happy.
I would say like
the show has run its course. Yes.
I haven't seen any of the shows. I don't know what's going on in terms of the content being.
Neither do I, because I haven't, because I don't watch the show. I just go off of like what I hear or what they say. So I hear things and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about.
You gotta realize though, like as your daughter.
Maci and Cate have been good to me. Hold up, real quick. I wish y'all would say one thing.
Somebody said Maci and Cate have been good to you. She read that comment out and then flipped them off, which makes no sense because Maci and Cate have not said anything. As a matter of fact, in the last interview they did, they were asked about Caitlyn. They were asked about Amber, and they kept it very short. They was like, oh, Amber's going to do what Amber wants to do. Caitlyn responded. Maci didn't. Leah didn't. They were very much like, you could tell they were like scared too. It was almost like they did not want to speak in support of her anymore, but they also knew like, oh, well, don't say that we don't support her because then she'll come for us. So Caitlyn just kept it very like, oh, like I haven't talked to her in a while. Hope she's doing good, but Amber's going to do what she wants to do. The fact that she flipped them off is like, where you flip what? That makes no sense.
To me after what I saw with Jade and
you gotta realize though, like as your daughter.
Maci and Cate have been good to me. Hold up, real quick. I wish y'all would say one thing to me after what I saw with Jade and or my mom. Sorry, what my mom told me before I got on this.
First off, when she said earlier that she don't watch the show, she just knows stuff based off what other people tell her. She was, can't say for sure that she was lying, but she definitely showed signs of deception in when she was saying that. Also here, she's like, what I saw Jade say on the show. What my mom said, like right before we got on this live. Like, girl, you watch the show, whatever.
This live. I don't want to hear from anybody. After what I saw with Jade and or my mom, sorry, what my mom told me before I got on this live. I don't want to hear from anybody because my mouth will go.
Yeah. I was
write a book.
Amber. Hey, I got a question, y'all.
There is no new season.
I've been watching as a moderator, I've been watching who's been in Amber's chat for the last few months, and then we took a little break. So like I would like to say we're gonna open up a couple moderator positions for Amber Portwood, and it's only gonna be 2. So at the end of this live, we're gonna choose 2 moderators to help moderate for Amber Portwood.
Yeah. This morning when I had like the 7,000 and then the 6,000 like steady like viewers, and like I was trying to talk to everybody, it was like it was going so fast, like I couldn't like read anybody's comments.
If you can read the comments, like there's people that just says like Gary, like the comments, you can tell like the majority of people do not support Amber in the comments. If you can read them, I don't know if y'all can see them, but
and say hi to them. I was like, geez, I didn't have any moderators on at that time either, though. Y'all were sleeping. It was like you were sleeping for sure. I know that.
Yeah. So like, we'll choose 2 moderators. And you guys will help cancel out the bullshit in her chat, and we'll give you muting and blocking capabilities. And then hey, you know what, Amber? What I was thinking, like all the people bringing up your daughter and like she's old enough to have a voice and stuff. Now you got to remember, guys, that a 16-year-old is going through growing up. Adolescence is what it's called.
They do not want to.
And a child hits adolescence from 13 to 18, 19, 21. So like, give her some time, y'all. Let that girl develop.
That's the real shit.
Brain and mind.
Exactly. And that's why I have faith. And I just keep on. I have faith in everything when it comes to my kids. That's just the truth. I look at my son and I see the potential in Leah. But what I see is MTV in the way, and they're doing too much. They're doing way too much. They're like having people like fly to shit. They're like actually making the stories up to where nothing's real anymore. And I'm like, well, I'm glad that y'all hate me. I don't want to be a part of that shit anymore. I'm not ungrateful. I don't care. There's a difference. When you turn 34, you don't care anymore about just negative things. You want to just be happy. You know, you're not in your 20s anymore when anything can fly. You can just, everything's like la-di-da. This is real shit.
And you know what? We're here to motivate.
Just so you know, Amber, hold on. It's always been real. The moment you had a daughter, that's when it gets real. It gets real. It doesn't matter if you're 18, 19, 20. It doesn't get real when you're 30. It really gets real the moment you bring a child into the world. But unfortunately, it didn't for you. You still acted like a child and put your needs before hers. And that's why you're in the position that you're in today, because you're just now getting real at 30-something years old, where your child is 16 and your child sees you for who you really are. It doesn't have to be anybody in her ear. Let me tell you something. I have 2 kids by my ex, and I do not talk bad about that man in front of them. I made excuses for him for a long time. Like when he couldn't see them, I'm like, oh, your dad's at work. I always tried to protect his image. The image that my children had of their dad, I tried to protect it for a very long time. I would literally make excuses for him. And I would take the fall for that. I would take the fall for like if they went a while and hadn't seen him. And specifically my daughter, she always had more of attachment to her dad than my son did. But she would get very upset that it had been months and she hadn't seen her dad. And sometimes I would take the fall for that, because if I couldn't bring them 2 hours to his house to drop them off one weekend, and say he went 4 months without seeing them, and then he finally calls and says, well, yeah, I can get them this weekend, but can you bring them Friday and then come pick them up Sunday? And I couldn't because, financially it was just too difficult, or because I was pregnant and was supposed to be on bed rest. And I would have to say, well, no, I can't. Well, my daughter specifically at a young age, he would be like, well, I could have got you this weekend, but your mom. And that's the thing, is I would protect his image, the image my children had of him. I would protect him for their sake, because I did not want them to know that their dad did not care more about them, to put them first. I wanted them to think that he did, but he just couldn't do more. But he didn't do that for me. Like if I could not do what he wanted me to do, he would very much be like, well, I could get you this weekend, but your mom can't bring you to me. So it's her fault. You know what I'm saying? And then my daughter would be like, Mama, and I'd be like, I can't, I just can't this weekend. Like as soon as I can, like so and I feel like Gary and Christina have done that a lot as well. Like every once in a while I'll see comments where it's like Gary's not innocent. And I'm like, nobody's innocent when you have a failed relationship. Nobody's innocent when you have a child young and it's a failed relationship and you know there's it works out the way that it works out that way. Nobody is innocent. Everybody has their faults where they do things here and there that if they could go back they would probably change it. So Gary definitely has done things, I'm sure, that looking back he's like, dang, I wish I would have did that different. But he did really good considering. I mean, considering the situation that he was in, people's like, Gary pushed her buttons. Well, he may have, but he was literally 20 something years old fighting with his baby mama that pushed his buttons. That literally, if he said anything to her, she would start yelling at him and then would say, quit yelling at me. When he wasn't even yelling, she was the one yelling. Or she would throw up the baby in his face. Like, oh, you want to leave? You want to leave? You're not taking my baby. You're not taking my child. Like maybe he did push her buttons every once in a while, but my goodness, like, what do we expect from the man? He's not Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like Gary and Christina went above and beyond. And I feel like they probably did like I did. Just from watching the show, it looks like they did what I did a lot. And they tried to protect Leah a lot and that image she had of her mom. And now my daughter's about to be 20 and my son is 17. And they know, like, because it got to a point to where they were too smart and they figured it out. It got to a point to where I couldn't really hide it anymore. And they started seeing the truth. And it got to a point to where they would have things that I'd be like, you want to invite your dad? And they'd be like, oh, he's not going to come anyways. It doesn't matter. And and it honestly, for both of my kids, it was around 14 years old. It was about maybe 13, 14 years old is where they started seeing the truth. And I couldn't really cover for him anymore. It was like at 14 years old, when this has been the only consistency he has had in their life, it's not being consistent in their life. That's when they were like, oh, well, dang, I'm like, 12 and 14, and our dad has, we have phones. He has a phone. Why doesn't he call? Why doesn't he text? We don't hear from him. And then that's when they started realizing the truth about who he was and how he was. And I guarantee you that's what happened with Leah. They tried to protect the image she had of her mom. They made excuses for her. They tried to push that relationship in any way that they could. But then Leah got to the point where she saw the truth and she was like, oh, okay, well, every time you have a man, you put the man before me. Anytime I am visiting you, you're asleep and the man's tending to me. I mean, I do not like, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen because, yeah, there are absolutely parents that will try to brainwash their kids. There are parents that will be in their kids' ear about the other parents, but we are watching this on TV. We have literally watched Maci and Cate go to Gary and say, how long has it been since Amber saying Leah? Oh, it's been about 7, 8 months. Oh, can we throw a surprise birthday party at your house for Amber? Yeah, sure. Great idea. That way she can see Leah. Yeah, absolutely. We've seen where he was the only one doing everything for her. So much so that he was like, because they live like 45 minutes away from each other. So much so, there was episodes where he was like taking her to her therapy appointments, taking her to doctor's appointments, taking her to do this, taking her to get her medicine or going to get her medicine to bring it to her. And there was one episode where he came back home and him and Christina was sitting outside and he had just gotten back from taking Amber her medicine. And he's like, you know what? Like, I'm kind of the only one that does anything to help Amber. She lives alone. She doesn't like driving, and I'm the one constantly doing for her, like we are. So I was thinking maybe it'd be a good idea to just buy a trailer, put it out there on the property, let her live here. That way I don't have to stay home so much. And I've seen people say like, oh, that's creepy that he wanted her right there. Well, you know what? He was going out of his way like twice a week to drive 45 minutes to her house, to do something for her, to take her somewhere, and then to drive home. So if he could buy a trailer, put it on the back of his property, and she pay him rent, and he's also thinking, I'm sure, especially if she's this close, then she can work on repairing that relationship with Leah. She'll be here. She'll be here. You know, Amber does not like driving. She doesn't like getting out of the house really. So I'm sure Gary thought if Amber's here, then she don't have to get out of her house. Leah can just walk over there and visit her. And then me being the one to help her would make my job a lot easier because I won't have to be gone so much. So I didn't see that as like a weird thing. He did not ask her to move in. He just had the idea like, hey, why don't you move closer? We can buy a trailer, put it on the property. You'll be right here. You know, it'll be easier for me to help. And you can see Leah. Christina was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. You know, we can do that. And when they brought this to Amber, Amber literally said, oh, God, I'm paraphrasing, but she said something along the lines of, like, oh, God, if I'm that close where Leah could just walk over every day, I don't know if I like that. That's too much. Wait a minute. It's too much for your then like 14-year-old child to walk over to your house every day? Girl, my kids used to watch me sit on the toilet. That's real parents. That's real parents right there. When your kids literally, like you got them in the bathroom with you when you taking a poop in a shower. Your kids are everywhere with you. And then at 13 years old, you're worried about them coming into your room and not knocking. You know what I'm saying? It's not you're worried about them showing up at your house because you live behind them. What? That's crazy to me that she had a problem with that. But it goes to show you how much Gary really has tried. Like he's come up with these crazy ideas. Like, well, move closer right here. I can, me and Christina can help you. You can work on your relationship with Leah. No, I don't want that. No, that'd be too close. She can come see me way too much.
Today's Motivation Monday.
Yes.
So you guys got to realize reality TV isn't really real. It's
Somebody said accountability. Accountability for what? What is accountability for what? Y'all are new. You haven't been watching the show. I've been on TV for 17 years. And the reason why I know you're new and you haven't been watching it since day one is because all you guys are talking about is this shit, which means you didn't watch anything from the past, or you guys would have been, oh, this is fucked up. Like, yeah, I did cause this, but I'm not keeping on causing everything. You end up stopping, and then if you're on TV, they push that shit. And when they do that, you're like, okay, cool. Like, I know what I done was messed up, but I don't need to keep pushing this negative stuff that happened years ago. We're going to just let it be.
I mean, like, take it one day at a time from today, though. Exactly. Like, everyone's up in the past, and everyone's done something in the past.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on. Like, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
The way that she's like, y'all must be new. Y'all must be new. Like, no, girl. And people's like, no, we're not new. Been watching you. And it's so funny because sometimes she'll say, you guys are focused on stuff from 10 years ago. You stop focusing on everything from 10 years ago. Like, I'm better now. But now she's like, oh, y'all must be new. Because if y'all knew what was going on back then, you would have seen how messed up it was. Like, no, girl, everybody knows your story. The people in the chat, like, they know.
If you can't, like, go from today, right now, and on, like, let's do it, baby. Like, it's Motivation Monday. We want to be here to motivate y'all to forget about the past because, yes, it's our worst enemy. And to recreate yourself from today on.
Oh, yeah, and this guy did not know Leah's name. He literally says, like, oh, I talk to Amber all the time, and all she does is talk about Leah and how much she loves Leah and how much she misses Leah. And I'm like, if you really talk to her all the time, and she's constantly talking about Leah, then why did you not know her name? But he called her Leah. He was like the first time he like said her name, he was like Leah. And Amber's like, who the F is Leah? And he's like, oh. She's like, Leah. And he's like, oh, Leah. You don't even know her name. So don't speak on what type of mom that she is.
This was happening this morning, so I just want to make it clear. So I'm going to say exactly what it says. It says, why have you seen her 4 days the last year then? You live 30 minutes away. I tried every fun day of my life to be in that girl's life. And literally, Gary and Christina never wanted me in her life. They always said that she was busy, this, that, and the other. They always made it.
Girl, there's so much evidence of him trying. This man went to, let me tell you, Gary, he does not have to go to therapy with you. No, Gary don't have to go to therapy with you. He don't have to bring you to therapy. He don't have to take you anywhere. He don't have to bring you your medicine because you don't want to get out of the house. He does not have to clean your house after your other man trashed it when he left. Gary literally like hired a crew, went with the crew to clean your house so you can move back in it. Him, Christina, Leah, they went over there with you to see your house for the first time. He went through it, picking up stuff and looking at stuff and said, I'll hire a cleaning crew for you and I'll come with them. He did that. That's not somebody that's not trying to be there for you. That's not someone that's not putting the child, thinking about, you know what, I need to get along with her mom because that would surely be in the best interest of her for me to get along with her mom. So let me go above and beyond. There's so much evidence where we see them saying like we want her to be involved, like there's always room for her, them going above and beyond. Like my older kid's dad, he ain't like if I needed him for something, like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
Excuses. Then all of a sudden, Leah didn't want to come stay anymore. Blah, 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 blah. Guys, I have not been.
Oh, and she is a child. So let me tell you guys something else. You guys in the chat probably know this, but just at the off chance that Amber Portwood may watch my videos, as your child's getting older and they do have that parent that they go visit every other weekend or whatever, they're not going to want to do it as much because they're going to make plans with their friends. So like my son and my daughter, they used to want to go to their dad's all the time. They didn't get to go because he always made excuses. You know, he was not there a lot, but they did ask a lot. But as they got older and they started spending, you know, a night at a friend's house, or they would have friends at our house, they stopped asking so much. I have one son that is very close with his grandmother, and he would literally go stay at his grandmother's house like every other weekend. We lived right across the street from her, so it wasn't a big deal. But he loved being at his grandmother's house. Now he's 17 and he goes and stays at his grandmother's house like one weekend out of every 2 months. But he used to want to go all the time. Or maybe like one weekend out of every 3 or 4 months. And now he's like, you know, I need to go stay with Granny because, you know, she's getting old. He don't really, you know, as they get older, they want to hang out with their friends and they want their friends at their house, or they have plans and they're going to birthday parties and things. So just because Gary was like, oh, she's busy or she has plans, doesn't mean that he was like purposely trying to keep her from going with you. It was probably because she really had plans. Leah has friends. She's on track. Like she probably really had plans. But you got to see it and take it as something personal. Like, oh, he said she has plans. They're lying to me. She probably had plans.
Been able to do anything with my daughter legally that I am supposed to do because they've been illegally doing their shit. So if I actually open my mouth on some things, then because Gary's getting a lawyer to go to court. Well, if he goes,
okay, well, let me say this, and please don't feel attacked when I respond to anybody. Baby Cake says, but it is the custodial parents' job to make sure they go even when they don't want to. I knew growing up not to make plans on a dad's weekend. Okay, think of it this way. If you have a parent that you are more than willing to send your kids every other weekend, you're more than willing because you want them to have that bond with their other parents, but their parent, you don't hear from them. Their weekend comes, can't get in touch with them. And this is like a constant thing that it's 16 years, 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, you know, years into this, you're like, okay, because Gary, when Amber got out of prison, she was in there for 18 months. The first time she was out, and it was the next day that Gary brought Leah over, and she was at her grandparents' house, and Leah stayed the weekend with her, and that was filmed. You know, it was on the show. Leah was so excited to be there, and she loved it, and they played and they filmed, and it was a great visit. Well, it slowly started getting to where he can't get in touch with Amber. She's sick. I don't feel good. I can't do it. Or then when she was with Matt Byer, she was more consistent from what I was told. She was the most consistent with Matt Byer, but Amber would get Leah. And according to Leah, Amber would spend most of her time in the bed asleep. And Matt would take her to do things and tend to her. Her and Matt would go get ice cream. Her and Matt would go to the movie theater. And then after her and Matt broke up, it became very inconsistent again. The whole reason why Amber Portwood's other baby daddy, Andrew Glennon, was given permission to move to California was because Amber was so inconsistent with her visitation. She had visitation. She had every other weekend visitation. And after they split up, when Amber and Andrew split up, he immediately asked to move. He was like, can I go back to California? Like, I don't have family here. I was just here for her. And now that we're not together, like, I want to leave. And the judge says, no, you cannot, because you have a baby by her. And that baby needs to be close to his mom. For a full year, Andrew documented every visitation that she canceled. And she canceled a lot of them. I don't feel good. The weather, it's raining, every little thing. So much so that it was either a year or maybe 2. I think it was actually 2, that she canceled an ungodly amount of visitations. That the judge was like, you know what, go ahead and go. So if you grow up, if you're the other parent, and I'm like, you know what, if I spend 2-3 years texting you every other weekend, hey, are you getting the kid? Are you getting the kid? Are you getting the kids? Are you going to come here? Do I need to bring them to you? And you're constantly canceling on me. Guess what? In time, I'm not going to worry about it. My time is precious to me. Gary has other kids. Like people have other kids. They have other duties. And if it's 2 years into it and you're only responding and getting the kid like once every 6 months, then you know what? It may be Gary's job to make sure, but it's also Amber's job too. It's also Amber's job to say, hey, it's my weekend. I want my child. How do we need to set this up? So honestly, I get what you're saying. It's the custodial parent to make sure they go even if they don't want to. I think Gary would have been A-okay with making her go, but he could. Amber never asked. Amber wasn't asking all the time. She wasn't reaching out on her weekends to say, hey. I mean, she's only seen Leah four times in the past year. We don't even know how much she's seen James, to be honest. So, I mean, yeah. Honestly, she's 16. At this point, it's been so much. I would let her do her thing. I would be like, you know what? Do your thing. Because we don't know if your mom's going to try to get you or not. If she does, you have plans. Oh, well, that's on her now. Because we have literally not made plans for you on the weekend that you were supposed to go with her for years. And she ended up canceling all these times, all these years. So now we're just going to live our life. So I get what you're saying, but I think in Amber's case, because she literally cancels so much and goes months and months and months without seeing her, I wouldn't waste my time with it. Be more consistent, and then I would be more consistent as well. You know what I'm saying?
The court, then I'll be showing all the messages of him saying that she's not available. Then I'll be showing everything and then some. So there's nothing I can do about that. That was not my choice to not see my daughter. I have never made a choice to not see my daughter. There's not one day that I would ever do that. And I just had a past, and that's it though. But they keep pushing this. I feel bad for my daughter and why she thinks the way she thinks of me. And I feel bad for everybody else getting involved.
That's all.
I don't think it's right for NTV to push it on Cheyenne and them to be like sitting there. I just talked to my mom, and she literally said, like, the girls are getting pushed, like, talking about this stuff. Like, I guess Cheyenne was talking to my daughter. I guess Jade had like a birthday party or something, and like people flew out. I don't know. All I know is that, like, I can't watch this because it gets too hurtful, and I just don't want to hear about it anymore. Because I'm not delusional, guys. I'm living this. That's the eerie part. We need to start right now today and moving forward with nothing but positivity, and keep on understanding that if I tell you something, I will not lie to you. I promise. If you watch the show, you'll see it.
Shit, Amber, I think you should personally give Leah a message.
My message? Oh, what, on here?
Yeah, like right now, you should be like, Leah.
I can do it, but it's cheesy, but I can do it. I mean, here, honestly, Leah, baby girl, you already know. We've had so many good times. Like, I just want it back to that. I know she does too. I know it's hard to say something on here. I don't do this in front of people.
Do it.
But it's like, listen, that's my daughter. She's vocal. She's honest for her life.
She's honest. Yeah, she's honest and saying you ain't been there for her, but you got a problem with that. He literally is like, send a message to Leah. Send a message. She's like, oh, I don't know. Listen, if I was her, and nobody would even have to tell me. If I felt like my kid was being kept from me, I could get on. If I decide, you know what, I'm going to use social media, and I'm just going to get. I would do that. I would get on and be like, listen, so and so. I love you. I want to see you. I don't know what's going on. Like I text to see you, and your dad always says that you're busy, and maybe you are because you're 16. But I really want to work on us seeing each other. Like I wouldn't have a problem with doing that, but she couldn't even do it. He's like, send a message to Leah, and she's like, oh, I don't know, baby girl. You know what? Leah's so smart. She's so beautiful. She couldn't even do it.
He knows. Yeah. She's smart and she's feisty and she looks like her mama. She's amazing. Honestly, she's a.
Thank you so much, Christina, for the memberships. I don't know who got them. Let me see who got them really quickly. Captain, Cricky, Koala Bear, Vanessa, Can't Hide Love, and Christine and Kathy were all gifted with memberships. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. You guys that got the memberships, Christina Cole was the one that gifted them. So if you guys want to, just go ahead and tell her thank you. You guys are all now members of the channel. So welcome, and thank you, Christine. Thank you.
Boss. So like to me, people want me to be like, the only thing that I don't like is how she's talking about everything because she's just so damn young. Like I wish I could just tell her, hey, baby girl, like I would never do what you think. Like it's just not like that. Like her dad just needs to go away and let me be with my daughter alone, and that's all I wanted. And when I told them, all right, I'll just tell the truth. How about this?
So her problem is she wants to be able to be with Leah alone, but that's not what Leah wants. Anybody that has watched Teen Mom knows that Leah does not feel 100% comfortable with just Amber. That's why when it's like, do you want to invite your mom to your birthday party? She's like, not really. Like, and then like when she wants Gary and Christina there when she is around her mom because those are her comfort people. Her mom is not. You can tell she feels super. I would just watch the clip from Teen Mom Family Vacation or something where Amber was out there and Maci had Gary and Leah fly out, and she surprised Amber with Gary and Leah. And they walk into this cabin, and Maci and Amber and Gary and Leah sitting there waiting for her. And she sees them. She's like, "Oh my god!" And Maci's like, "Surprise!" And she's like, "Oh my god, thank you so much." And she's like, "Yeah, we flew them out here, so they could see you." And Leah was so like uncomfortable. Like she was like, "Hey," like super uncomfortable. Even though her dad was with her, she was still like super uncomfortable. Like that her mom was focusing like so much on her even being there. So more than likely, I guarantee you, I would literally bet my right leg and my right arm that the reason Gary does not allow you to go off with Leah is because that's at Leah's request. Leah does not want to be with you by herself. I would literally bet my limbs. Sorry, guys.
When I said that I did not want to go over there anymore for dinners, that's when I wasn't able to see Leah anymore.
So, they are literally accommodating you. Just think about it like this. Leah doesn't want to be around Amber alone. So she's like, if she comes here, I guess I'll visit with her. So they're like, you know what? We'll do one night every other weekend where we have dinner and Amber can come and we will visit with her and you can visit with her. Okay, yeah, I'm okay with that. But then Amber's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do the dinners with you guys. I want to see her by myself. Well, they've done all they can do. Leah doesn't want to be with you by herself. They try to accommodate the situation because Leah is only comfortable to be with you around them. You don't want to do that. So that's your problem. You need to consider that it's Leah that wants them to be there. and that it's Leah that doesn't want to be with you alone without them. If they were literally inviting you to family dinners, because I'm like, you guys ask my husband how he would feel if we had family dinners with my older kid's ex, he would be like, oh, really? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, most people wouldn't want to do that, especially if the ex has been somebody that has literally like physically abused you, trash talked you, has been such an absent parent, has blown up on you, like has accused you of all kind of crazy stuff, even because even way back when she accused him of things. So, but he's going out of his way to have family dinners, like have dinners at his house so you can come. And you're like, no, I don't want to do that. Most people wouldn't even do that. Most people wouldn't even want to have a family dinner so their ex can come and be around their child. Guarantee you, Gary probably didn't want to do it, but he did it so Amber and Leah could see each other.
Okay.
So Leah, listen, I'm sorry about that, but obviously, you know, it wasn't me. I love you. I'm sorry that this is all happening and it's all out and for everybody to see, but we've been going through this for years now. We know what we know. And I think that when this show is gone, I think you'll be able to live a normal life, hopefully, and see how you feel maybe in a couple of years, babe. Give it a couple of years. Give it a couple more experience out in the real world. No, it's not the show. I'm not blaming the show. I'm saying that it's the narrative. You know, like I have to give my daughter time. If I don't give her time, if I don't give Leah time to like feel this part out of her life, you know, she's 16. She's very mad at me. She's very angry with everything that I did when I was younger. So I understand why she's mad at me. So that's why I say, like, I just want to give it a couple years and really just let her get out of the influence. And then if she still feels the way she does, then we'll go from there. I'm not giving up on this. I hope everybody knows that.
You're not giving up on Leah.
Oh, I will never give up on Leah. Even if that paperwork goes through and all those things, it's not happening. I'm not going to give up on her.
And
it's
Leah,
my daughter. Like, she's amazing.
You already have given up on her. If you go 7 months without seeing her, you gave up. Because guess what? That affects a child. When their own parent can go 7 months without seeing them, that does something to them. Especially the mom. Like, I feel like it's worse if a mom can go months without seeing their child versus a dad. Because I feel like kids have more of like this desire to be wanted by both parents, but I feel like even more so their mom. And it definitely affects their desire, like how they feel about you. It makes them feel like, why? Like, why doesn't she want to be my mom? Why isn't she here? Why doesn't she want to see me more? So going 7 months without seeing your child, you gave up, in my opinion.
And I know that once this shit is gone, the influence is gone. Like, I just can't wait to kind of see what happens with everybody and my children. Because I see how James is with the show, not in his life. And I'm telling you, it's night and day.
I guarantee you, if Andrew and James would have never left and would have stayed in Indiana, and they would have had visitation like every other weekend, and Amber would have, because guess what was happening before they left? It was a hostile situation. And he was like, I want to move. She's not doing visitations. He literally had tried to have her rights completely revoked because she was not seeing him. He filed to move. He filed another request to move to California because she wasn't seeing James. And he also filed to have her like visitation discontinued because she wasn't using it. So the reason that James and her have a better relationship is because James does not live close enough to where she can continue canceling her visitation. The visitation is a lot different, and James is still younger. If James would have stayed close at 16 years old, if Amber would have did the same thing to James that she did with Leah, James would be the exact same way. Guaranteed.
So am I horrible for wanting something maybe to stop. Yeah, but I kind of want my family more than the show. Sorry, guys.
And then Leah, personally for me on Mr. Hoods, your mom talks highly of you every day that we talk. And she is fighting to have you back in her life. She's fighting for you to have you back in her life. It's just the time. You just got to understand the time that it's going to take, because family matters are so serious when it's involved with the court system and all that stuff. Baby, it's triple. So your mama's coming for you, Leah. Be ready, baby. For everybody in here saying blah, 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 you got to realize it takes all humans. We all heal. So she's going to go through a healing process, and mama and daughter are going to come back together stronger than ever before. And y'all don't even know this.
Yeah, they don't like that. They don't want us to, but we will. Sorry.
Yeah. Motivate.
We'll have my daughter back in my life one day. Sorry, guys.
Manifest.
Keep pushing the narrative, guys. Keep pushing the narrative of old shit. It's not gonna work. It's not working on my son who doesn't have any influence, and it's not gonna work on my daughter who has every influence. Watch.
And then please start manifesting.
It never counts out.
We need a team of people around us, and a group of people around us that manifest good positivity, good things. So manifest Leah and Amber and their good relationship that's about to blossom. Hey, some seeds get planted deeper than others. Takes longer to come out, but when it does, it's the strongest plant growing, period.
Exactly. It's already known. Let it be known. It's already known. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, so
I've fallen so many times that this is just one of those things where it's more hurtful, I think, because it is my daughter, obviously, but I love to be the one that's counted out. And then I'm still here, so you'll see. I don't give a. The best thing you can ever do is just be you, try to be a better person, and show everybody that it's not right and that they're wrong, and you're gonna succeed. Remember that shit.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there like me with like way crazier pasts, and their kids are taken away. I talk to them, and I talk, and it's also you guys. A lot of you guys that watch me, there's a lot of moms that really look at me and they say they're still fighting for their kid and they're in their 40s and stuff. If you're, that means you just never stop. I don't know, but I don't need to keep fighting for something that I know is ridiculous.
This is her leading up to getting banned.
And if you guys keep saying it, delusional narcissist, you need to send that shit to Gary. Don't send that to me.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you think about it,
y'all are really like on Gary so hard, it's ridiculous.
She just said that everybody was on Gary's pee-pee. Girl, you're the only one that's ever been on Gary's pee-pee.
Like, it really is. If that's the case, then y'all need to like go over there. Why are you watching me? Because this morning I had 7,000 people watching me. So if y'all ride him so hard, then go give him the 7,000. Go give him all of that bullshit, because I don't want it and I don't care. I mean, Gary,
she said the words and I blocked it out because I don't talk filthy, but she legit said it with her whole chest. And then she's like, I don't know why I got banned. It said sexual content. I didn't do nothing. Y'all flagging me. Y'all hating. No, girl, you told people. You said something about getting up on somebody's pee-pee.
He is a pawn in a fucking show. Look at what he has. What do you mean look at what he has? I don't even know what that means.
Okay, she says he's a pawn in the show. Now, Gary, to my knowledge, he has like a garden that he sells, like fruit and vegetables from the garden. He also has rent houses. Gary has rental properties. I actually didn't know that until I came across the information. But he's been a police officer before. Christina finished school to become a nurse. And he has rental properties and he has his vegetables that he sells.
He nothing.
Yeah, I mean, just
nothing. He has everything from being what? He's never even had a job. Like, I'm the only one that's had a job here, y'all. Like, I'm done.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. I'm working right now.
I mean,
like,
I'd have to.
Lazy.
I feel like I almost want to look into who Gary is, but
please.
Like,
he was, I thought, like this person that wanted to do good by me and because of what our past was.
Yeah.
And I thought he wasn't going to push the envelope because of some things in the past, if he was smart enough. But when
he was a certified nursing assistant when the show started, he was a CNA. He was, I think, still going to school. And yeah, he has rental properties and he has this like fruits and vegetables, whatever.
And you think about it, it's like a good guy turning bad because of money. And it makes
also, she said, it's like a good guy turning bad. Oh, so he was good when he was Ring you and forcing you to have abortion? He was good then? Amber can't keep her story straight because if my earliest relationship with somebody, they R'd me and forced me to have I'm not going to say, oh, they used to be a good guy. I'm going to say he's always been a piece of crap. He was a piece of crap then. He did horrible things. He's a piece of crap now. Maybe he's motivated by something different. Maybe now he's motivated by money, but he's always been a piece of crap. She literally acknowledges that he was a good guy, but now he's not because he's motivated by money. Oh, and he sold Gary condoms. Yes, Gary time. Yeah.
Makes me want to cry because I had a relationship with Gary for I know what 20 almost 20 years. I don't know.
I really feel that you paved the way for Gary. I feel like you paved the path.
Everybody knows he's not. Yeah, I mean,
like you got him paid. You know.
Actually, Gary still gets her paid because if Gary was to say, you know what, Leah's not filming, I'm not filming, we're gonna show, we're not gonna be on the show. Would she then not be on the show? Could he say we're not filming Leah? And then they would be like, you know what? There's no point in filming you, Amber, because all you do is sit on the couch. We have to literally tell you, call your mom today, dress up in an army outfit and call your brother because you literally, the only way Amber's storyline can be interesting is with Gary and Leah. Gary 2.0, Mr. Hood's literally saying, oh, I feel like you got him paid. Oh, I think it's always ironic when it's like, oh, I had the baby. Like, if it wasn't for me, like, my ex wouldn't be famous, like the baby daddy, you know? Like, didn't he help you have that baby? You didn't have it by yourself. So y'all both participated in making that child. Okay, so you being 16 and pregnant that landed you on the show, he was a part of that. So give him a little bit of credit as well.
Well, what am I doing that for? Everything's out in the open. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you got him paid like for him to have a child with you and then get custody and do all that legal court shit.
And a man don't just get custody for no reason, okay? Like the fact that he got custody can speak for itself.
I was getting paid as a separated marital couple or a couple.
He's not a full-time dad. Christina's a full-time dad.
So like, y'all gotta
you bash. You also bash her, but now you admit that she's a full-time parent.
Please give her the kudos for that, y'all.
No, I'm not a victim. No. I don't see myself as a victim. I know what the hell here's the difference. I know what I did. Like, so let's get this straight. I've been knowing that. Obviously, I fucking lived through it. Why am I explaining this to people? Can we just shut the f about all this? Because why am I explaining it just so they can keep on putting you're delusional and all this shit? I'll just show y'all like I always do. So
you ain't never showed us nothing. You ain't never showed us nothing. What have you showed us? Nothing.
Peace out. Bye. You guys can go on. Bye.
Hey, mute your chat. Mute your chat.
Mute them?
Yeah, mute them for like 5 minutes. I'm out. Put them in timeout.
I'm not spiraling. I know you want me to. See, that's the thing. Hold up. These are waiting for me to like go to the media. Like.
So yeah, this was banned.
For the first time ever.
So I actually got rid of a lot of the cuss words. Like I was taking them completely out, but then I started like bleeping them out. But yeah, she was like throwing F-bombs. She said that about riding Gary's. And then she went off and it said it was due to sexual related content. No doubt it's because she was constantly saying the F word and because she said that about riding Gary's. And you know, maybe people were reporting her. That's highly possible. But she did talk in a sexual related, I mean, she said sexually related stuff. So it's very possible that's also why she was banned, that it was like a legit ban. Now she filed an appeal, and what they will do when you file the appeal, yeah, it was because let me tell you, when you're editing a video, you know, when you just say the F word, it's you have like this clip that's like this big that you have to clip and then remove. So yeah, it's a very tedious task. And I have the original, but I didn't want to put it up either. And then my video get like demonetized or something. But yeah, what'll happen? She filed an appeal, and they can go back and watch what happened. They can go back and watch and see what she said. And if it was nothing, then they will reinstate her. However, we don't know how long the ban was for. Like it could just be a 7-day ban. So she might be back in 7 days. And then she might be like, oh, it wasn't a legitimate ban because I'm back. And it's not that it may have been, but it may only be like a 7-day ban. Who knows? But yeah, it's so funny because right after that happened, Mr. Hoods was still live. So y'all want to know something? I thought I was banned because y'all saw me tapping in the chat. I was like, I was saying how I felt. So I thought I was banned. And when that happened, I was like, oh no. So I got out of my Elle Bee account, went into my regular account, and went to her page, and she was not live. I was like, oh, what happened? So I went to Mr. Hoods. He was live, and he was like, something happened to Amber. We're going to call her. So he calls her, and he puts her on FaceTime, like in front of the camera. And she's like, I got banned, like for sexual related content. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess people reported me. Like, I was flagged. That's just people hating. And then he sat on a live with her on the phone where you could see her for like an hour and a half or something. And I have all that recorded as well. And she's still going off. And they're talking about how they're on this journey of Amber proving her love to Leah. And they're going to be going live like 3 days out of the week where Amber will prove her love to Leah. I don't even know. So I have all of that. I think it's like an hour and a half that I still have to edit. So that'll probably be tomorrow. Ridiculous. So ridiculous because some of the things that this man even says, I'm like, dude, you really should. He's like, I think I should look into this, Gary. You should. And then you might be like, oh, wow. You know what? This man has taken care of his daughter for 16 years. He was abused by Amber. She went to prison. And when she got out, he was right there to be like, here, you can see your daughter. He has literally went out of his way to make sure that Amber could be there for Leah's first days of school, go pick her up to bring them with them so she could be there for those moments. And Amber shows no appreciation and acts like she is Gary's, like that she funds him in some way. Like, oh, like it's because of me that he makes money or whatever. Like, girl, he has that baby too. And he's taking care of that baby. So if anybody deserves that MTV paycheck, it's Gary, not you, Amber. So anyways, you guys, like I said, I have more that I have to go through, but I do have to get off. I have to run somewhere really quickly. Once I get back, I'm going to work on editing the second part of that video. I also have, like I said, Caitlin went live on TikTok with an adoptee advocate named Erin, who is an adoptee, as well as a bio mom and a birth mom. They were live on TikTok yesterday for several hours where everyone was like sharing their opinions on adoption, how adoptees feel, how bio moms feel, how birth moms feel. And Caitlin, she, in the whole like totality of the video, She did not talk a whole lot, but when she did, she said things like that I did not know about. Like she talked about the wedding, how Carly danced with, Tyler at the wedding. And she talked about how, okay, I know it's so crazy, but she talked about how Carly ran up to her and was like, Caitlin, I want to dance with Tyler. And she was like, okay, yeah, let's go ask your mom. And she said she went and asked Teresa, like, hey, Carly wants to dance with Tyler. Is that okay? And she was like, well, how about we just all go out there together and dance? So, that's how they all got out there on the dance floor or whatever. So yeah, I'm going to go back through that as well and just take the bits and pieces that's just related to like Caitlin talking about her adoption. And then I want to go live and listen to that with y'all and commentate on that with y'all as well. So just be on the lookout for that. Also, I am building my Facebook, my Instagram, my X. I am at like 40,000 on Facebook, which literally like last week I was at like 30,000 or something crazy. So it's been growing really fast. So thank you guys. I'm growing my TikTok. I'm growing my Instagram. So if you guys don't follow me there, please go check me out and follow me over on my other social media platforms. Also, there is someone very near and dear to me that I love more than anything. They started a channel called Daily 10 Piece, and it's a YouTube channel. It's also a TikTok account and a Facebook account. It's called Daily 10 Piece, and it puts up encouraging videos as well as videos that says like 10 facts about biblical characters or historical characters. So if you're into, listening to motivational, like short videos, like I think the longest is like 4 minutes, or if you're into, learning about people from the Bible or people from history, like Vikings and things like that, go check out Daily 10 Piece. I'm going to have everything linked in the description box. So if you can't find it, just come back here within like 30 minutes and I'll have it all linked. But yeah, I will try to go live again later. But if not, definitely tomorrow. So make sure you thumbs up on the way out. Follow me if you don't yet. And I'll see you guys as soon as I can get all this other crap edited. Bye, guys.